What's up, y'all? This is Throne. This is obviously my channel, PERMA, meaning I permanently here, coming here, dropping this hot fire. And yeah, like, dislike, comment, sub, do whatever. View it first because you know a lot of people need incentives to do the basic humane things. So let me just open this olive branch to you. You will enjoy yourself while you're here. It's not, well, you'll have the option to. I demand you not to do what you want. I only command the space that I am. Meaning I only give you the options that are presented. I give you nothing more. Only the things that are applicable for both of us. I don't try to feed into your insecurities as an individual. I'm here for a select amount of reasons. None may not, any of them may not tickle your fancy, but they are important to what I'm doing. Just hold off. It doesn't even have to be for you. If you have any reservations for what I say, there's people that you know would appreciate what I have to say, how I move, the content that I do, the nostalgia that I bring. Doesn't matter how long the game's been out or when other people play, who cares? You see, a lot of the stuff you see in these games, the little highlights that I have at this point thousands. Of course, there are probably more of me failing, but hey, you get the best, after you finish failing. But I've done a lot of this. This is PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 before you could record anything. It's dominating all facets of these games to the point where I didn't even know a lot of integral the following was for these games, but I still pursued them on my own merit and conquered them. But I had nobody to share with. And then after the fact, this is like the 2010s, I found out that people was, they had broadband, before then, obviously, DSL or whatever. They had ways to record what they were doing. Xbox is probably one of the first if it wasn't PC, and I was like, I didn't know. And I think there were other ways, but you had to attach all these gadgets to get, to be able to record from different systems. But now they made it a lot more accessible. So, and again, I'll tell you, when I got my PlayStation 5, because I originally started playing on my brother's PlayStation 4, the Slim, so. And I had a PlayStation 3 before then, but he had a PlayStation 4, and I was like, I really want to keep up to date with I want an up-to-date model console, but I know how fast they're building these systems, so I don't want to get caught up in the rigmarole, just like an iPhone, so I got this just intending to play it, because I was like, I just want something to play, but I didn't expect them to have a broadcast feature. But then I remembered, I was like, oh, the PlayStation 4 had broadcasting too, because that's where I started. But then after just going through the buttons, seeing what was there, I was like, oh, broadcast. I was like, oh, I can record myself, and this is where we start. This is about 2.5 years of me doing this, so I do have some semblance of knowledge of what goes on in these spaces. Not entirely, but enough to where I know which way to move and how to benefit the most from it, at least for the time being, with so less to offer. But I come to y'all now humbled and grateful for what I've been able to do, and I will continue to do it as much as I can. But tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me how your day's going. I genuinely do care. At least I try to, There's a lot going on in the world. Everybody has an excuse for why their life is more important than the next, when the only thing you should be doing is the adulting. That's it. Keep your bills paid, whatever equivalence that is, making sure you stay tidy in the place you live. It's simple, basic things. Everything else is subjective. Everything else has to do with your wants. As long as you're doing the needs, the stuff you need to do, breathe, eat, sleep shit, that's have an occupation, something that you slowly master. That's it. That's the only thing God's ever told us to do. Even if you don't believe in God, all the systems, everything that makes sense, this is the only thing you're supposed to do. It's a finite amount of stuff you're supposed to do. It's a narrow path for you to live a productive and relatively happy life. But people want more. People blame social media, the government, the system. Just accept the fact that you don't like the standing you have in the world, so you want to do more. Most of the time you won't be able to, but you'll still try and waste a large amount of your life. The only reason why I do this is because I see how talented I am, and majority of the things that I've done, have went into, it's just that people have gotten in the way strategically. They will lie in my face and tell me that no, I got it all wrong. But it's a pattern that you see. You won't see the pattern. It's like the forest from the trees. You won't be able to see it because you're so close. You have to allow patience and time to heal. Let the time elongate, and eventually you start seeing it. Like, oh, they did try to take me out. And then you start asking questions, start engaging with them in their space, remembering how they was, remembering what they idolize and what they visualize for themselves in the entirety of their lives. Most people won't live to be around 70, but they spent 30, 40 years of their earlier lives doing absolutely nothing constructive for themselves, the people closest to them, and even complete strangers that they could help in some semblance of a way. Everything works according to the next thing. We're all in a society. It's not like we're all living for ourselves. We're not in a world by ourselves. Everything is general until it's not. Everything is subjective until it's not. You know? There's nuances, sure, but there's a foundation already set that has withstood the test of time. I say that all to say I'm here. I'm going to complete this. I could have been finished this, but I need to show y'all something. I don't expect you to stay with me and watch everything. No. I'm not that important. I'll never claim to be more important than the truth. But I was engendered by the truth long ago. So everything I do is to spark that thought, that mindset, mentality within your psyche to where you embrace the truth, where you only seek out the truth, no matter where it leads you. It is not the truth of, oh, the evilness of the world, oh, I gotta do this to survive it. No. The truth of how the world is. And what that ultimately means is certain people want the world to be a certain way so they benefit solely. They just won't ever say it. So it's about having conversations, going back to before 2019, before 2001. You know? These are significant moments in America's history to where people justified hating half of the population, hating each other so we don't have to interact. Now, of course, there are nuances, there's delineations, there's tribes, there's races, cults, associations, this is a whole bunch of things. Everybody wants to be right. The only people I know by fact that's always been right is the people who are selfless, who do for others, not do more for others than themselves, but do for others, that have things to teach. They've mastered certain aspects of life and they have the will and the capacity to teach the next person. These are the people you can meet in all realms, believe it or not. A homeless person who has a myriad of life experiences but lost everything because he made one wrong decision. A janitor. A man that works in a cubicle. A man that works. I'm not really sure about how the hours work because, you know, it's only 24 hours, but certain people be like, yeah, I worked like 60 hours, you know, maybe I'm just dumb to that fact. But a man who works over 80 hours a week to sustain himself, just himself, or if he has a family, sustain that as well. A man who's never had nothing but is willing to do what he needs to get to one of those pillars of life in its entirety. Because one thing, any man, even when he's a boy, what we need is compliance, cooperation, to be humbled, to be regarded, to be placed in a realm to where your talents can flourish and nothing else distracts you. And if you look at it like it's a distraction is the only thing that matters to you, then you distract yourself with your talents of what you can do for the world and other people. It's pretty somber. And believe that there's nothing you can do. I've seen a lot. And I know my faith is gonna have me learning more than I care to. But it will help me. It'll help make me a stronger man. So I'm here. Doing this not necessarily because I enjoy it, because most days I don't. Most days there's so much going on, but just like when I was working and doing other things, why complain? Only time I like to complain, when I was working Amazon graveyard shift, even in trade school briefly. You know what? It's interesting. I appreciate them times where I could just be like, oh, just another. I like that routine, that monotony. I love waking up exhausted. I'm a man. You know how the first, and this is gonna sound crazy to women or feminine men who don't work out, people who don't work out in general, but the first time I experienced that was when I first started working out. Believe my preteens. And I was a Pop Warner, Pee Wee Football League. And my coach told me, listen, do 50 push-ups a night. And mind you, I'm the smallest person. Mind you, preteens probably, well, preteen would probably start before 13. I'll probably say 14, 15 respectively. Yeah, and he was like, yeah, do 50 push-ups a night. And the camaraderie, the feeling of having a group of men, like-minded men on one single purpose, strong team, legitimately. We all want to do better than we were for ourselves the previous day, but we also want to compete with our fellow man, not to denigrate the other man, but to push them and push ourselves first and foremost. So mind you, I'm underweight like a motherfucker. Probably. Yeah, I guess. I was young. I might have been, nah, yeah, it had to be like 14. But I was, for my age, 14 through 15 or something like that. I'm not really sure. And I was supposed to be like, well, my cousin was the same age as me, but we're like 6 months apart. But he was bigger, way bigger than me. I'm 5'7". He was about 5'8", but he was like 230 or whatever. So he was playing close to 180, the 200s. I'm not really sure about the weight classes anymore, but I was around like 135 or 140, something like that. But I wasn't as big as them. And because of my age, I believe they was telling me I was supposed to be closer to 180, but I was like, nah, or 160 or something like that. But I was like, nah, I'm not. I've always been small. But me playing with these, and most of them are taller than me. They're close to my age, or we're the same age, but they're taller. They're more lean, slim, athletic than I am. They really do this. And I have the making for it, the stamina, the endurance. I'm just small. And there was never an inkling in my mind to work out to get to where I never, I just never thought I would need to use my hands and my fists to make a point. But as you become a man, that's probably the only way you can make your points. Stand on business, stern, stoic. So, me doing 50 push-ups a day and a night for months, probably. To the point where I had my cousin that was in the other weight and our two younger brothers. You would just, oh, come on, you bang out 50, I do another 50, do 50. We was just, and it became, Andrew Tate had a great example of that. I told him, like, oh, that's interesting. That's what we used to do. And it gave us not a false sense of machismo, but that real masculine, that vibrato. I felt so strong. I was like this. And I'm like, but the sweat and the out of breath, the pushing through to get yes, I would stop at 50, not 40, not 39, not 49, not 20. We doing 50 straight. Even when I started, I need to do 50. Even if I had to stop. After like 2 weeks, I was doing 50, banging 50, bang, 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 50, 50. To the point where, I forgot the drill. The drill where everybody stay in a line and you hold the football and you gotta run past the ball. Now obviously some of them niggas I probably did it twice. I was the smallest, but I don't want them to don't baby me, nigga. What? I believe one time I seen my cousin get laid out though, cause them niggas was bigger than all of us. The people he was in the class with, they was bigger than him. They had to be in college and shit. They was big. But he was stocky when my cousin was small, like he was short like me. So I mean, like I don't know, but he was still strong. Don't get me wrong, it was all muscle. He was tested. It was a less. He had more muscle than fat. And you wouldn't be able to tell when you looked at him, but when he flexed and everything, you could see it. But one time I seen it, he went toe to toe with this nigga, like probably like a foot taller than him. That nigga laid him out, and we had all our football equipment on. I was like, oh my goodness. It didn't stop me, but at the same, I was like, I'm not letting that happen to me. I don't care if I hurt you. I'm not letting nobody drop me like that. And they, and see, the coach knew I was small. I wasn't timid or nothing, but he gave me the ball. He was like, get ready. I had on my helmet. You know, I don't think I had a mouth guard, but I had on my helmet. He was like, start the drill. Everybody in a line. I'm cradling the football. I run at him. And at first, I didn't want to push with all the strength I believed I had. And then him throw more strength in and throw me down. So I gave him a moderate amount. And because I don't think the goal was to tackle me. It was just to stop my motion. Stop was the term for it. And I was like, no. And so it was like we was hiking our feet up, hiking our knees up, trying to. And bottom line is, I got past him, and then we ran it back, and I was doing the opposite. And I had to stop him, and I was able to, like grabbing his jersey and holding him still. And I'm like, yo, I didn't know I was stronger than I. He was bigger than everybody. Was bigger than me. And he put some real strength. I'm sure he had more reserve strength as I did. We're men. That's where we thrive in. But I kept up. I wasn't. I just wasn't there. I wasn't just sitting around. I was in it. I was like, this is the feeling. This is it right here. It changed everything about how I view manhood in its entirety. You know? So me working out, it's a feeling that you can't get nowhere else. Just feeling your body form to how you want it to. You standing up strong, tall, feeling my lower back muscles lift up my spine to line with my full spine. To the point where I feel like I'm a superhero. I feel my pectorals separating ever so slightly as I lift my rib cage. I press my stomach down. I stand up strong, not flexing up, just standing tall. God, what a beautiful feeling.
I can keep the heat off. For a fee.
Why?
Do you need to vanish, friend? Ahoy, Captain. Need to go underground?
Captain has the helm.
Clues!
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I'm gonna shoot this down anyway.
Fire! That's bloody missed! Last man, ready to spit!
Swim, do you?
I was about to say, because that ain't one of them.
Don't all but me! Ease the spanker! Hold out! Clue up! Clue up! Larboard! Some wrecked cargo here, sir!
Down to the tree!
Tumble up! Do you have the
Fans.
news? Fire! She's vulnerable there, Cap!
Refit all tops! As much...
Down your chutes! To larboard, sir! Wreck survivor here, sir!
Whiskey for my Johnny, oh. I drink whiskey when I can. Whiskey, Johnny, I'll drink it out of the snow.
On your mark, Captain!
Douse the gallants and royals!
Reef the men! Crew up guns!
Let's
go exposed! Take the shot, sir!
Hold down! Let out some sack!
All sail! Crowd it on!
Ah! Reel 'em in, me truck!
We have looted some goods useful for upgrading the ship, sir.
Hey, boys! 'tis here the old men say, goodbye, fare thee well.
Fire!
Now, now, 'tis here.
Awaiting orders! Fire! Sail! Get off the squall! Raise!
They've landed it!
Fire! Incoming fire! We'll need the carpenter to fix that! Fire! Hit him, Mercer! That'll wipe him out! Order in! Grapple him, sir! Fire! Shoot him, Lord! Come! Are you mad, Captain? Pull him down the howl, lad! A fine addition to the fleet.
Overboard!
I've been here well nigh 2 weeks waiting on the Royal Africa Company to anchor, but all I see are fishermen and drunkards.
What the fuck was...
Your
Yo!
name's in your head if you move away from here. Hold you! I'm no friend, not a party to it. Leave me be. Oh hell, need to get out of this.
Oh, and they circling? Oh, bet. Oh, bet.
Need to disappear, Captain. You'll want nothing but can be found here, sir. You have my thanks. Care to lose all the unwanted attention? Right. You're officially off the hook.
Captain's trick. Fire!
Starboard! Cast away! Still alive, I think!
Just like them pretty girls when
I think we've lost them, sir.
Fire! Hey, your friends coming, come out! Incoming fire! 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 It's now firing, sir! Fire! On your mark, come out! Ease off the wind! Incoming fire, sir! Taking damage here! Grappling hooks away! Let's to the fly!